So after seeing Alien Covenant, I have finally had some time to gather my own thoughts and conjure up some of my own ideas for where this franchise will be going and what I think will happen next. With that being said, I'm going to release all these in a series of different videos talking about different subjects. As with all of these videos, I am going to give you a spoiler warning. There will be spoilers for the film Alien Covenant, so you have been warned. So a popular fan theory that's been floating around ever since the end of Alien Covenant has been that the Space Jockey at the beginning of the first film is in fact not an engineer. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. And I'm gonna tell you why. So the first reason is that the engineers in Prometheus and in Alien Covenant, unless Ridley Scott changed it for continuity purposes, just because he can and just because the visuals are updated in 2016 and 2017 and whenever Prometheus was made, they are just not that big as the Space Jockey in the beginning of the first film. You know, the one in Alien was literally like 3 times as big as a regular human, a regular adult human. And the ones in Alien Covenant are about 3 feet taller than humans. So the size difference is already something that's questionable, because I don't think Ridley Scott would do that on accident, especially since he's stayed true to most of the stuff so far. But yeah. So the next thing is that there shouldn't be any more engineers. The species should be gone, because unless there are like different outposts and there's one more in cryostasis that's, you know, 3 times the size of a human being, it's just not happening. I mean, David literally dropped the black cloud on them and they all died on their home planet. So there's another one that's kind of like, well, so much for that, you know. So that kind of cuts them off, unless what I said earlier. The next thing is not in regards to the engineer species, but it just kind of is starting to get that vibe. Like, you know how you can kind of get a sense of where a film's direction is going? That's kind of the direction that I'm getting. I think that David is becoming obsessed with creation and becoming his own god to his own sort of creatures and stuff, that he is trying to, you know, in the next film, he somehow will try to transcend his current form or something along those lines, and he'll try to be like in his godly form as gods are portrayed. Maybe that's something that he learned from the Space Jockeys, except he's going to do it like physically, and he's going to try to make himself like this big, like monstrous like version of himself with the black goo. And maybe he's going to try to, you know, make himself organic as opposed to the machine that he is, and he would be like the best of both things. He would be like an immortal living thing instead of an immortal, you know, robot. So I think maybe in the next film somehow, if he gets access to the black goo, then he'll try to mutate himself into a living thing, and he will try to make himself into a godlike form, and that's how it gets so big. And then he'll somehow, at some point, there will be like a derelict spaceship involved in the next film somehow. Again, I'm just spitballing. It sounds really crazy, but I can see it happening. So he'll get in a derelict, and then he'll have his own little creations, and he'll try to escape, and then somehow, since he's become more organic, a facehugger will have latched onto him at some point. Maybe his, like, it kind of ties back into with what the humans kind of did, where the creation is trying to like kill the creator kind of deal. So maybe a facehugger latches onto him and it bursts out of him, and that's how we get to that derelict spaceship. And then he tries to send maybe like a signal, like either a warning beacon, because David's not like, I mean, he kind of is good, but he's kind of like an anti-hero, like the worst kind of anti-hero. So maybe he tries to like say, hey, don't come near this, or maybe he tries to say, hey, come to this so you all can die, and hopefully it comes to Earth kind of deal. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking will happen in the next film. If you have any other ideas, leave them in the comments, because I'm going to leave that there and let speculation fuel the comment section and see what you guys have to say. So yeah, that's my theory. Let me know yours, and until next time, I'll be seeing ya.
Place my dreams among the stars while I'm standing on the pavement, spinning around, lost and found, just trying to make a statement. Lift the weight off my shoulders and set me free. With the birds in the sky is where I'd like to be.